quick tutorial on how to use GarageBand to record and edit audio. Once you have GarageBand open, you click on New Project, you'll see a screen that looks something like this. It might be a little bit smaller, but no big deal. You pick what kind of project you are creating. In this case, I'm going to click on Loops. And the bell is going to ring. It's going to ask you what you want to name your project. In this case, I'm just going to go with the default, my song. I recommend naming it like maybe your Edmodo username or something. It's up to you. Click on Create, and here we go. Now, I don't have any tracks here yet, but I can add them. I can go up to where it says Track up here, and I'm going to go down to New Basic Track. Alright, now I have a track here, and you can see these little lines are moving as I talk because my microphone is active and it's not recording anything, but it's listening to the sound of my voice. I can start recording by clicking down here. Do 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 do. And you might have heard a clicking noise there. That was the metronome. If the metronome annoys you, you can go into Control and turn that off. It might be off by default for you already. Let's listen to what we have. Do 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 do. Okay, so it recorded the clicking. If I don't like that, I can actually click on that sound file, press the delete key on my keyboard, and it goes away. Let's rewind to the beginning and try recording again. Do 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 do. And now I have an audio recording. I can play that. Do 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 do. And it's kind of dumb, but it serves the purpose for this particular tutorial. Now, if I move my mouse over top of the edge of my recording here, you notice how it changes into different shapes. Let's zoom in on this so we can see that better. If I have a looped arrow, I can click and pull, and it's going to make my recording repeat over and over again. Let's listen to this. Do 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 do. Okay, well that's okay, but maybe I want to not have that click right at the end. So I'm going to bring that back this way, and I can actually crop this as well. If I move that red line by clicking up here, click on this little arrow and you can move that red line back and forth. I'm going to move it to right there. If you press Command T, it will cut a loop into pieces. Click on the piece you don't want and delete it. Now when I loop this, I shouldn't hear that click anymore. Let's see. Okay, that's a lot better. I can copy it either by pressing Command C to copy and then clicking somewhere else and pressing Command V to paste it. I don't want to do that. Or I can just drag things back and forth or whatever. Now you have other loops available to you. These are available to you even if you didn't pick loops in the beginning. You can get to this screen and you can just pick whatever sound files you might like to have. And if I like that, I can drag this right over. And just like I did with my previous sound, I can extend this out as a loop. Now when I rewind this to the beginning and play, okay, this sounds horrible, but this is just an example, so you can figure out the process and make your own music that's going to sound good. Now let's say I'm all done, I've finished this, and it actually is the way I want it to be. To export it as an MP3, you go up into the menu option here where it says Share, and go down to where it says Export Song to Disk. You have a bunch of other options here, ignore them. Export Song to Disk is what you want. That'll bring this up. You do want to compress it, make sure that is checked. You will have AAC encoder and MP3 encoder as options. You want to select MP3. That is a little more universal than the AAC encoder. Audio settings, don't really worry about that for this assignment. I might go into those later on in the year, but for now, just leave audio settings at whatever it's set for and click on Export. It will ask you where you want to save this. The default is your GarageBand folder on your computer. I would recommend finding your flash drive, which will be over here if it's plugged in. In this case, I'm just going to save it to my desktop. I'm going to click Save, and now I'm going to have this go through mixdown and converting, and now it is on my desktop. I can find that file, I can upload it to Edmodo, do whatever I want with it. So those are the basics. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.